Let's get a law enforcement perspective now. Rod Wheeler was a homicide detective here in Washington, D.C., and Ron Hosko is a former FBI Assistant Director, Crisis Management Lead. Gentlemen, thank you. Ron, let me start with you. At this moment, what is law enforcement trying to do? The fact that they don't have, or they haven't told us anything about knowing where these guys went.
Right. This is a dead sprint by law enforcement to debrief witnesses, have the greatest possible understanding of who was in that room, so you have an understanding of victimology. Were they coming for specific targets? Why these targets? Looking back in time at this group, county employees, to see if there were threats conveyed against them, specific parts of local government, looking at social media, interviews, working the forensics as quickly as they can on the weapons and pulling as much as they can, cameras from the scene, and try to put that together and understand where we're going next.
And Rod, you know, authorities said at the beginning they would only say long guns. There were witnesses who described AK-47-like weapons.
Right.
Obviously an AR-15 would look like that. But this was planned. This was organized.
Very planned, very well organized. As a matter of fact, Bret, I would even submit to you that these individuals, whoever they may be, and we'll find out eventually who they are, they came there with a mission that they wanted to do, to fulfill. They fulfilled that mission. Part of their plan, though, and this is so interesting, was their getaway, their escape route. And that's why it's very difficult right now for law enforcement to find these folks. Now, law enforcement don't know if these people made it to the Orange County Airport or the Ontario Airport. Maybe they got on a plane. There has been some reports that there was a black SUV spotted. Did they get into another vehicle and continue on their escape? We don't know any of that right now, and that's why, Bret, the FBI as well as ATF and a number of other agencies are actively involved in this investigation right now.
And Ron, they can't say terrorism. They can't say motive here, but they can say that this is a really dangerous situation for this particular community right now.
Oh, I think this is incredibly dangerous. This is very different than a typical active shooter, where 60% of them are concluded as law enforcement is arriving at the scene or has just arrived at the scene. The idea that as many as three offenders could get away, you have to be working with the expectation that they're going to plan the next one and strike again.
They talked about, Ron, all of the coordination between all of the different law enforcement agencies responding. Is FBI assisting that, or are they kind of umbrella over it?
Typically, the FBI is coming in to assist to look at, are there other targets? Is there a broader plot? Is it terrorism? And so, by and large, the FBI comes in support of state and local law enforcement, the lead local agency. This is a different type of event, and it was good to see my friend Dave Bowditch, the assistant director out there on the scene. I think you're going to see a bigger FBI footprint in this one, greater involvement, reach back to FBI headquarters to be extracting every bit of intelligence that the FBI has in its holdings.